Alexandra Levine welcomes you to the Alexandra Levine Live Podcast. Today, we've got a packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you well informed. So, please click the subscribe button to get notified of her upcoming episodes. If you like what Alexandra talks about, then please share the Alexandra Levine Live to others. Alexandra also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Alexandra Levine Live Podcast starts now.
Well, hello everyone. Hello, this is Alexandra Levine Live with the America's Pulse Network. You are all in tonight with me, Alexandra Levine. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Breaking news tonight, guys. Breaking news. Millions and millions upon millions of Epstein files were dumped today by the FBI, DOJ, DNI. That is huge. Now, of course, people are trying to figure out who's in the Epstein files, who did Jeffrey Epstein hang out with, who went on the island. And guess what? President Trump's name is not in there at all. Never went to the island, never hung out on the Lolita Express. As we have stated and said before, the minute that President Trump found out that this guy was a pedophile, bringing all these underage boys and girls to Mar-a-Lago, President Trump banned him not only from Mar-a-Lago, but every single Trump hotel, golf course, etc. Completely banned. President Trump was never friends with these people, even though the Democrats want to say that he was, even though these friggin' social idiots, the squad, they all want to say that he was in bed with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not true at all. And Melania wasn't either. But there's been a lot of emails coming out based on Zohra Mandami's mom is in those emails associated with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of famous actors were associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton was associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin. They're all in there. They were all involved. I know for a fact that Bill Clinton went to that island, went on the Lolita Express, hung out on that island hundreds and hundreds of times. His Secret Service went with him. And the reason I know this is because his number two guy, Doug Band, who I've talked about many, many times, told Bill Clinton not to go to the island, that there was suspicious activity over there and that he would be compromised. But Bill Clinton said, no, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And of course, Doug Band exposed him years later and exposed Chelsea Clinton as well. That's why the guy's in hiding. But we have to ask ourselves, what the hell? What the hell? This was going on for years and years and years. And there was piles and piles of evidence compiling this, but nobody did anything about it. It was like hidden under the table, under the rug. And that's because Bill Clinton was a CIA operative brought in by George H.W. Bush. Barack Hussein Obama was also an operative, had multiple social security numbers, called himself Barry Soetoro. The guy is a huge mystery, just like Governor Westmore of Maryland. These guys are mystery men because they were all worked for the FBI, the CIA, and were compromised. Same thing with Osama bin Laden. These people, unfortunately, are under the protection of the CIA, the FBI, the DNI, the ODNI. My hope and my prayer, and many Americans, is that these people get arrested. These are terrible people. These are pedophiles. These are sex traffickers, human traffickers, drug traffickers, you name it. And they're involved with terrorists. Barack Hussein Obama was involved with the Muslim Brotherhood. He brought the Muslim Brotherhood to the White House. He opened up the vacuum for the Arab Spring. He introduced and expanded ISIL. He didn't call it ISIS. He called it ISIL, which tells you everything. Barack Hussein Obama was also involved with the Black Lives Matter movement, did a lot of work with George Soros and continues to do a lot of work with Alex Soros, which is George Soros' son. Again, the Huma Abedin connection. Huma Abedin is currently married to Alex Soros. As you remember, Huma Abedin was married to Anthony Weiner, and he, as you know, is a huge pedophile, and he's done a lot of disgusting, shady stuff. And there was a lot of stuff on Anthony Weiner's laptop compromising Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin. But they lied and said, the only thing on Anthony Weiner's laptop was information about Chelsea Clinton's wedding and Hillary Clinton going to yoga and her yoga appointments. Does that woman look like she goes to yoga? I don't think so. And there's also a lot of compromise between the Pakistani and Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz and that laptop from hell. And the list goes on and on and on and on. I pray that Kash Patel and D&I Director Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Radcliffe are really getting to the bottom of this. I know they are. And we just have to, watch and see. And Pam Bondi, I know the Attorney General. I know people are like, she hasn't done anything. She's done a lot behind the scenes that she will not tell you. Remember, there's a lot of walls. There's a lot of black tape. And we have to rip off the tape, break off the walls to get these people arrested and to get more information. It's all about getting information and getting as much evidence as possible. The second breaking news is really interesting. So they put out today that the salaries aren't as big as some of these people that are in the cabinet. Like Secretary of State Pete Hegseth has taken a significant cut. As you know, he worked for Fox News. Fox News pays millions. He's not a millionaire. Judge Jeanine Pirro, she was getting millions through her books, through working on Fox News. Not anymore. Sean Duffy, who was a former congressman, he got a lot of money. He worked in big businesses in Wisconsin. He's taken a significant pay cut working as the Secretary of Transportation. And a lot of other big names like Kristi Noem and Dan Bongino took a big cut when he was the Deputy FBI Director. Kash Patel's taken a hit financially, but they don't do it for the money. They do it for the people. As you know, President Trump doesn't take a presidential salary. He donates his salary. I mean, the guy's a billionaire. He doesn't need the money. But Joe Biden kept taking the presidential salary. Barack Hussein Obama kept taking the presidential salary. Barack Hussein Obama is a billionaire. And all these congressmen and senators are now multimillionaires. Some are billionaires. And we're like, how did they get that much money? Freaking AOC, Rashida Tlaib. They started out with nothing and now they're millionaires. Like, how are these people getting their money? There's a difference between them getting their money due to fraud, which is what we're seeing, and people taking a step back on their salaries like Sean Duffy and Judge Jeanine and Pete Hegseth and so forth, and Dan Bongino and so forth. It shows you who cares about the American people, who doesn't. When you see these people that come in and all of a sudden they're millionaires and multimillionaires, and you have to ask yourself why, and then you look at the people that have taken significant pay cuts or donate their salary to we the people, that shows you who are the righteous and who are the non-righteous. Who are the people that really care about this country, and who are the people that just care about putting money in their own pockets and not caring about we the people. But that's really, really important. Also, breaking news today, President Trump has endorsed many Florida congressmen and many other congressmen because we want to keep the House of Representatives as it is, but we also want to expand it. The goal is not to turn it over to Hakeem Jeffries. The goal is not to turn the House of Representatives over to the Democrats, because we all know if that happens, we're in deep crap. We're in deep doo-doo. We will get nothing done. We will get horrible bills passed, and it'll be 2 years of hell, like what Trump dealt with in his first term. Speaker Johnson and J.D. Vance's responsibilities now is to expand the House of Representatives. And they say 90% of all incumbents, they win re-election, but there's a lot of people that are leaving, a lot of Republicans, hashtag rhinos, that are leaving, and those seats need to be filled by conservatives, by conservative Republicans that President Trump has endorsed and is working so hard, or that is working hand in hand with, or shoulder to shoulder with. Also, big news, President Trump has endorsed Prime Minister Orban of Hungary for re-election. He endorsed him in 2022. He's endorsing him again for re-election. Prime Minister Orban is great. He supports the United States. He loves Caroline Leavitt. He loves Israel. He loves our ally. His economy is doing very, very good right now. He keeps the original currency, the florins, decided not to go into the euro. I hope they never switch to the euro, because the economy in Budapest is doing really well right now. And the people love Budapest. I know a lot of Americans that have permanently moved to Budapest. I know a lot of Americans that have bought real estate in Budapest. And it's just a beautiful country full of life. Because I've been to Budapest, I've been to Hungary, and I've been to Austria, I've been to Vienna, Austria, and I've seen the difference between the countries. Austria looks like it's World War II. They act like the war is still going on over there. The buildings are old and rickety. The people there are stiff. They dress very nicely. They're very trim, but they're very stiff people. You cross the border, you drive the 2 to 3 hours to Budapest. Everything is bright. Communism is gone. They're free people. People dress and wear whatever they want. The men and the women are very lovely. The food is very nice. The Hungarian baths are amazing. The culture is there, and you don't have to worry about crap. You feel safe over there. A lot of Jews have moved to Budapest. A lot of Jews visit Budapest. There's a huge Jewish quarter on the Pest side of Budapest. In Budapest, they divide it between the Buda and the Pest side. The Pest side is where they have the majority of the Jewish quarter. That's where you have the Great Synagogue, which is the oldest and the biggest synagogue in Europe. You also have a lot of, if you're a religious person, they have a lot of kosher restaurants. If you're Shomer Shabbos, which means you walk on Shabbat, you do not use electricity. There's a synagogue on every corner. There's a Chabad of Budapest, and there's also multiple kosher restaurants and kosher delis in that area near the Great Synagogue. So if you're a religious Jew, I encourage you to go there. It's a very beautiful city. It's a very beautiful city. They have famous monasteries and so forth. So I applaud President Trump for doing this. This is awesome. This looks great for the world, for our country, that President Trump is getting along with our European leaders. As you know, the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, he loves the Jews. He loves President Trump. Remember, he came up with the tagline, "Make Argentina Great Again." And that's what Hungary is, make Hungary great again. So thank you, Prime Minister Orban. I pray you get reelected. I know he will get reelected. And thank you. Thank you for this endorsement, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump, for all the endorsements to help move the needle. As I've said before, we'll get into this with segment one, is that the president is campaigning like he's campaigning in 2024. Even though his name isn't on the ballot, his agenda is. So we need to hone in on that. We need to focus on that, but we also need to understand what's at stake here and what's important. We want to expand the House of Representatives. We want to keep it conservative. We want to keep it flowing to the Trump agenda, the MAGA movement. It's very important, guys. It's very important that we do not lose that. Now going into segment one. So going into segment one, election scandals is the topic. This focuses on passing the SAVE Act. The Senate needs to pass it. President Trump has pushed the Senate to pass it so that it goes back to the House of Representatives so that Trump can sign it. And the House of Representatives are going to dissect a little bit of it. They're going to make it better. They're going to recondition it. They're going to secure it so that we don't have mail-in ballots. We have election on the day. We don't have to worry about Smartmatic and Dominion and all this crap. And we can have free and fair elections because we don't have that currently. There's issues with signatures. There's issues with signatures on mail-in ballots and getting signatures to be on a ballot all over the country, specifically in Ohio. And I'll talk about that in a minute. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on here, guys, a lot of hypocrisy. And there's a lot of things that the Democrats are trying to do to stonewall Republicans from succeeding. We also have issues with redistricting. We have Republicans that have the power of the purse to redistrict and expand their congressional districts. But they don't want to do it. Like in North Carolina and in Indiana, they have freaking Republican rhinos that are state legislators that are stopping real conservatives from being on the ballot or from being congressmen and congresswomen. It's a real problem. It's a huge problem that's going on. And then you have the state of California, freaking Gavin Newsom. His state's already gerrymandered to hell. He wants to gerrymander it again and put 6 new Democrat districts that are like hardcore liberal. And then you got the state of Maryland with Governor Wes Moore. He wants to take the one Republican district, District 1, which is Congressman Andy Harris's district, gerrymander the crap out of that. So then they have 8 Democrat districts so that you get no Republican in there, no conservatives in there, and the whole state goes to hell. The whole state's already going to hell. Let's just make it more hell. I mean, this is what's happening. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then you have freaking governors that are passing anti-ICE legislation. You have county councilmen passing anti-ICE legislation, making it unsafe in your county, in your state, in your district. It's a huge problem. Calling for ICE agents to remove their masks. This is stupid. What happened to BLM people removing their masks? They didn't. What happened to pro-Hamas people removing their masks as they're causing terror and asking and calling for the genocide of Jews and the genocide of Christians? Hypocrites. Total hypocrites. I'm so sick of it and tired of it. But we need to understand what's at stake here. Again, the 2026 midterm elections are very important. The direction of the country is going in a great direction. We just have to keep it there. Let's go to our first slide with Eric Dougherty. He talks about Congressman Brandon Gill of Texas. Love this guy. Awesome dude. Brandon Gill is very special because he's married to Dinesh D'Souza's daughter. He's the son-in-law of Dinesh D'Souza. So this is really important with Brandon Gill. They just had a third child. So Justin, the U.S. House is on the verge of passing the Save America Act and fast-tracking to the Senate this week via a floor vote. This must be sent to President Trump. 23% chance it becomes law right now. No more delays. Codify voter ID and citizenship. Quote, make the Democrats argue against it. Make it a talking filibuster. If Senate Dems want to explain for hours why basic common sense legislation is like voter ID, why they oppose it, let them do it. The American people will side with Republicans, Representative Brandon Gill. And this is bullshit that the Democrats are allowed hours and hours of debate. Because the more they debate on this, the more they delay. That's what Democrats do. They know they don't have the majority, so they're going to debate, delay. Brandon Gill saying, let them explain for hours. And it's so funny because Senate Democrats, they kick themselves in the foot. They actually, in a sense, they admit that photo ID or having proper voter ID, when you bring your voter ID to vote, which they don't do in some liberal states, they actually admit that it's important. But then they also put their foot in their mouth and they say, well, we do this because we need illegal votes. We do this because we know we're not going to win fairly, so we have to cheat. And it's true. I mean, this has been going on for years. The Democrats are hypocrites. They've been cheating for years. I believe Barack Hussein Obama cheated in the 2012 election. Everybody knows it because his first term was so horrible. And he had the issues with Acorn and everything. Acorn is like another Dominion Smartmatic. I mean, they figure out how to cheat. I know for a fact that President Obama paid a lot of people to cheat. And we know that the 2020 election was completely stolen from President Trump. We know that there was corrupt internal election personnel. That's USPS people. That's the workers that are backdating ballots, that are re-putting in ballots more than once. And they're showing partisanship by walking into a voter booth, if I can speak, or they're election judges and they're wearing Joe Biden, Kamala Harris gear and Biden-Harris 2020 masks, which is against the rules. When you're an election judge, you're supposed to be bipartisan or nonpartisan, actually. And when you are an election, or when you are counting the votes, you're supposed to have one Democrat and one Republican. Well, if you're living in a very liberal state, you don't have that. You have two Democrats, you have two Republicans, and it's unfair. So we're seeing a lot of this election fraud all over the place. And let's go to the second slide. So the second slide, this is President Trump being interviewed by Larry Kudlow. And he said, President Trump is saying Republicans need to win a landslide this November. Quote, we should win in a landslide and we'll do everything we can to do it. Securing our elections with photo ID is an 80-20 issue. Time to get moving. We all know that the states that did not require photo ID, Kamala Harris won. It's very important that we give photo ID when we go to vote. As you know, we have to give photo ID when we go to getting alcohol, getting tobacco, when we go on an airplane. When you go to the grocery store now, they require photo ID. When you go to the gas station, sometimes they require photo ID. If you have a credit card that's not in your name, they require photo ID to verify. When you're going to a dentist's office and you are getting, let's say you have new insurance, new dental insurance or new health insurance, they require not only your new health insurance card, but your photo ID. And as you know, at the airport, Kristi Noem has been very, very, very critical. Not critical, that's not the right word. She's cracking down on making sure that everybody has their photo ID and a passport to go through TSA. It's very, very important, guys. Bunch of illegals don't have photo ID, or they steal your social security number, or they make up their own. Again, it's illegal to give an illegal social security number, but for some reason, miraculously, they have it. Oh my gosh. Oh, Donald Willinger, he gave sarcasm here. He said, Alexander, ICE is ruining our country, which I know he doesn't believe. How crime is down 50% since ICE got busy. That means insurance will go down. That could also reduce income tax. That means people will spend more money. I mean, you always want to reduce income taxes. And as you know, there's a bunch of governors around the state, including my governor, Ron DeSantis, that wants to be the first governor to reduce property taxes. Ohio Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, he wants to be the Ron DeSantis of Ohio, and he wants to be the first guy who's governor, and I know he'll win the governorship, to get rid of property taxes in Ohio. So it's very important, guys, to understand that when the crime is down in your country or in your state, you make money. It's very important. When crime is up, everything else goes up. And guess what? Your state becomes poor. Your state becomes poor. Your county becomes poor. Your district becomes poor. Everybody knows this is common sense. Yeah, my friend Donald Willendry also wrote another sarcastic comment. He said that means dead people won't be able to vote. What about the poor undocumented people? Does this mean that only real Americans can vote? I mean, that's what we want. We want real Americans to vote. We don't want poor undocumented people. We don't want dead people. We don't want 17-year-olds or anyone under the age of 18, because 18 years old is a legal age to vote. It's very important, guys, that we have free and fair elections. I don't understand what the problem is of this. I don't understand. But the Democrats are freaking out. They're freaking out because they know that if it passes, guess what? Their cheating goes down, or people find out they're cheating and they all go to jail. Let's play this clip. This is from Mike Lindell TV. They interviewed Senator Dick Durbin, who's actually leaving. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's hear that interview, that clip.
SAVE Act is expected to be brought to the floor for a vote this week. What are your thoughts on that? Are you going to support the SAVE Act?
Not at all. It's a terrible idea. This notion that we want to put more obstacles in the paths of voters is just what Donald Trump wants. Fewer people voting. I want every legal citizen in America to be able to vote without obstacles.
Do you think requiring an ID to vote in elections is making it harder? I mean,
it's more than that. It's more than an ID. It's proof that you were born in America. So what are we talking about, a passport or a birth certificate? Got one of those handy with you in your purse? I doubt it.
Well, if you're going to the voting poll and you know what you need to bring, I mean, it's just one of those documents, right?
Well, just one of those documents. Think about securing your birth certificate before you...
So this guy is talking crazy. He actually admitted that you need a photo ID and we want legal Americans to vote. But yet he thinks that Donald Trump is the problem in regards to having a photo ID when you go to vote. That does not make sense at all. It's completely asinine. What's so wrong, Democrats, with having someone bring their driver's license to a voting booth? What's the problem? Why are you so afraid? Why are you so afraid that a person brings their identification to identify where they live? It's really sad, because the only way that the Democrats can win, especially in liberal states, is to cheat. If we do things right, if we have free and fair elections, Democrats won't be so inclined to cheat. And maybe for the first time, maybe some of these states like New Jersey and New York and Michigan and Wisconsin, maybe they can actually get a bigger Republican majority if we have free and fair elections. Oh my God, God forbid, as we say in Yiddish, Kanahara. Oh, Donald said in Texas, you have to produce your birth certificate to get a driver's license. I know when I had to renew my driver's license, because in the state of Florida, you have to have a gold star now. I had to bring my birth certificate. I had to bring my social security card. I had to bring a bunch of documentation to prove that I'm a Floridian, that I'm an American. If you're an illegal and you love America so much, get in line and get your citizenship. Again, as I've said on my podcast, if you're from Israel and you want to become an American citizen, it only takes 7 years. 7 years for American citizenship. Not 25, not 30, 7 years. Why do you have to be here for 25 years illegally? I don't understand. I don't understand why that is a thing. And then, oh my God, you took grandma away. Oh my God, you took mommy and daddy away. Their visa was expired, but you took them away. Oh my God. It's not that we're taking you away. You broke the law. You broke the law. We have laws put in place for a reason. And people are saying, oh, ICE is just coming after grandma and grandpa. That's not true. ICE is coming after the illegal criminals first and foremost. We all know this. They're coming after the pedophiles, the drug dealers, the sex traffickers, the human traffickers. We all know this. So stop lying, mainstream media. Stop lying, Democrats. But they'll continue to do it and continue to do it to push that ICE is the devil. And the more that they push that ICE is the devil, it's a huge problem. You had a stupid congresswoman whose parents came here illegally, who are still here illegally, who should be deported. She was educating ICE Director Lyons on illegal immigration. Then you have the moron from New Jersey, who should be in jail today, who fought and actually assaulted an ICE agent at a New Jersey ICE detention center and said to ICE agent Lyons, "How the hell do you sleep at night? You're going to hell." No, she needs to go to hell. She assaulted ICE agents. She put illegal criminals first before her constituents. Why the hell is she not in jail? Why the hell is she asking the head of ICE about illegal immigration when she clearly doesn't have a clue, when she clearly is for the illegal criminals? I guess they feel they're above the law because they're congressmen and women. No, you are not above the law. And these are the same idiots that screamed for years, President Trump is not above the law. Well, neither are you. And President Trump, guess what? He committed no crime. The 34 convictions against him, we all know were BS. It was one conviction that was written out 34 times by a piece of crap attorney general, Alvin Bragg, who was paid with a liberal Judge Merchan, who originally didn't even want to take the case because he knew he didn't have a case, but because he was bought and paid for by Democratic socialists, they continued to push the narrative and push the case. Those men should be in jail. But we need to understand, guys, that if we don't get this right, we're screwed. And now in Ohio, we're having issues. So the topic of this is different standards for Republican candidates versus mail-in ballots. So as you know, with mail-in ballots, they require a signature. Well, to get on a ballot in Ohio, they also require signatures. For local elections, they require 50 signatures for each local election, whether you're running for state senate, state representative. And this is really important. This is awful. So this one woman named Tina, she is running for state representative District 21 in Ohio. And she got all the signatures in time. She got, actually, she turned in 57 signatures. And they're all she needed was 50. And they're disqualifying 8 out of the 57 signatures. Why are they doing this? Let's hear it. So number one was not a lady wrote her name twice, not contested. Number two, a lady signed her name that was done in the district, so that's not contested. But then there's 4, and this is where the BS comes in. 4 accidentally put January 3rd instead of February 3rd. So they want to disqualify those, even though the intent is there that they were writing in February 3rd. They accidentally put January 3rd. And then there's 2 that are even more disturbing. These are the 2 that are the most disturbing. So they rejected one. They rejected one because they claim that the guy who's a registered Republican, they claim that he hasn't voted in a while. So if you haven't voted in a while, they reject you. This guy's a registered Republican. Have you ever heard of that before? They reject a man's signature because he hasn't voted in a while. There's a lot of hardcore Republicans that haven't voted in a while. Some don't vote in the presidential election. Some do. Some vote in a primary. Some don't. I've never heard of that before. They reject a signature because they claim that the guy hasn't voted in a while. And then this one's even more bizarre. They claimed that another gentleman didn't even sign it, even though there's a witness who was there when the guy signed it. So then they said to the guy, well, you have 24 hours to go down to the State Board of Elections and re-sign it. And the guy has like a life. He has a job. So he may not be able to go down and re-sign it. So this woman got her signatures in time. I know this for a fact, because I know the person who was in charge of getting all these signatures. He's like the signature guru. They should pay him to get signatures. He's awesome. And they're disqualifying 8 of them. They're disqualifying 8 of them. So they're saying that she's under, that she didn't make the 50, that she got down to 49. even though she had 57. Do you see what these Democrats are doing? The hypocrisy of all of this. The hypocrisy. That's what these Democrats are doing. And it's not even Democrats, really. It's the State Board of Elections that's doing this. So the whole point is that you want to verify signatures for mail-in ballots. That means that anybody that ever did a mail-in ballot and your signature was not verified, or you didn't write your signature name, guess what? You should all be disqualified. All those mail-in ballots should be disqualified. If these people are so concerned with signatures to get in on a ballot, why weren't they so concerned about signatures on a mail-in ballot? That's why mail-in ballots are fraudulent and should be knocked off, and you should never have mail-in ballots in an election. But if that is the case here, then they should be combing through these mail-in ballots, be like, oh, this person didn't sign it, this person wrote the wrong date. As you know, the corrupt internal election personnel backdated mail-in ballots, signed for other people, double signed. Some people didn't sign at all. Some people got mail-in ballots and didn't request mail-in ballots. Then when you went to the voting booth to vote in person, they said, oh, we got your mail-in ballot. They're like, what? No. I requested not to get a mail-in ballot so I could come in person and vote. Oh, well, here's a provisional ballot, which never gets counted, by the way. So there's a lot of BS going on, a lot of shenanigans. If you're one of these people that happen to you, please contact me. Tell me. I'd love to have you on my show. If you've been screwed, if you knew that you had all your signatures in time, but the State Board of Elections is screwing you, I want to know. Because it's really disgusting. Yeah, it's true. It's called rules for thee, but not for me. That's correct. Yeah, according to Chuck, many black people aren't able to get IDs. He never said why they can't get them. It was an insult to black people, as far as I'm concerned. I agree with that too. But listen to the hypocrisy of this. Because you didn't vote long enough, your signature doesn't count. Because they can't tell if you signed or not when you have two witnesses that said that they saw the person sign it. It's a disqualifying signature. Then they should disqualify all the signatures on mail-in ballots, and if that's the case. Hypocrisy. Total hypocrisy and total BS. They don't want real conservatives on the ballots. They don't want contested primaries. They don't want the Democrats to actually have to go up against a hardcore Republican. It's crap. And this is the rhinos working overtime as well. Remember, I told you, rhinos and Democratic Socialists are detriments to our nation. I've said that repeatedly. I will continue to say it until the end of time, until I see something different. Where are the moderate Democrats? We don't see them anymore. A lot of them vote Republican. A lot of moderate Democrats have hashtag Jexited the Democrat Party and become Republican. But it's very important, guys, that we get these elections right. And we have a lot of people on this network, a lot of people that I know nationwide that I'm working with that are totally getting screwed. If you're one of those people, come on my show. So before the break, don't forget we have a affiliate sponsor, FoliumPX.com. There we go. Toxic heavy metals, full body detox, free radical support. This is great if you're going on a trip. This is great if you're pregnant. This is great if you're expecting. This is great if you have low immunity. This is great if you just want to boost your immune system. Super antioxidant. This is a phenomenal supplement. Takes care of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, whatever you have. This is one pill that does it all. And we met the owner. He's been on my show, Babri. He's from the country of Georgia. Smart guy, Jewish guy, very intelligent, very knowledgeable about the heavy metals. And we want to get rid of all the toxins out of our body. It's really good to do a full body detox at least once a month. Some people do it, especially women, they do it once every 2 weeks. But it's very important, especially in the wintertime, to detox your body, because in the wintertime, you're eating more because you're inside more. And a lot of people, they layer. And when you layer, you're covering up a lot of fat. So people can't really see what you look like underneath it all. And then when we get to the summertime, people are like, oh, crap, I'm really fat because I ate so much in the winter. So it's really good to start detoxing now so you don't have to worry later. So go to FoliumPX.com. That's the QR code. There's a discount there. They always have lots of discounts throughout the year, especially Valentine's Day is coming up. This is a really great Valentine's Day gift for your loved one. You and your hubby, you and your wifey can take these pills together, lose weight together, detox together. It's a really cute date night. So go to fallinpx.com, and that's the QR code. And we'll be right back, guys, after the break. Stay with us. We have a jam.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Levine. I'm a professional opera singer, actress, TV, and radio personality. Since 2015, I've been a volunteer, a field director, and a campaign manager, learning the ins and outs of the political world. That's why I became a political consultant. My job is to lead you to victory with organization, structure, and the mindset of winning for your district or state. With my guidance and direction, I can keep you focused on the things that matter to the people and advise you on key issues that need to be addressed. If you're a serious candidate that is serious about winning, then book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. You'll be happy you did.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Alexandra Levine Live on the America's Pulse Network. Don't forget, we are live tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, on Rumble, on True Social, on TikTok, on Instagram. Now we're on Spotify and Facebook. So again, at America's Pulse Network, we're on all the major media outlets. And I've said this before. I have people that are on my show now. They're watching us via Rumble and YouTube all at the same time. I'm literally on X, YouTube, Rumble right now live while we're going on. So you can literally be on True Social, TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, all on the same time while I'm live. Please, guys, the more networks you're on while we're live, the better it is for our traction and our numbers. And I appreciate every single week, our numbers just keep going up. The network just keeps going up. I thank you to my sponsors. I thank you so much to the people watching our show, because I know there's a lot of people that are watching, not commenting. And of course, I appreciate the people that are commenting and watching the show every week. My loyal supporters, thank you so much. But please, guys, go to America's Pulse Network. Subscribe today. Like and subscribe on all the major channels. Like I said, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, TikTok, True Social, Parler, Spotify now, Facebook. I mean, we're on all of them. There's so many to remember. So for those of you who watched the Super Bowl, I'm curious. I did not watch the Super Bowl this year. I actually ended up watching the Kid Rock Turning Point USA halftime show. I love Kid Rock. I don't know if you guys know the story of me meeting Kid Rock. I was very young. I was a teenager at the time. I was with my friends and my family in Toronto, and we happened to be at a MTV version in Canada, in Toronto, and it was called Canada.tv, something like that. And I'm looking through the window and I see Kid Rock, and all of a sudden one of the producers invites myself, my sister, and my two family friends, Lindsay and Lauren, into the studio. We're literally live in the studio watching Kid Rock sing Ba With Da Ba, which is the song that he sang in his opener for the Turning Point USA halftime show. And it goes, ba with da ba, da bang, a bang, diggy, 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 said the boogies, and jump the boogie. It's the best song ever. And it's very lively. And so Kid Rock was this huge rocker before he turned into this country guy. So I was involved with his whole band, meaning I met his whole band. They invited us backstage to his concert that night. So my family and I, we got backstage passes to his concert. We got backstage passes to see him after the concert. And his band was awesome. We took pictures with them. My mother actually wrote a song for them. And it just, it was a huge friendship that grew over time. And I, kept watching Kid Rock over the years. And my father was this guy's going to be big, bigger than big. And of course he is. And for him to do what he did for the halftime show is awesome. The guy is all American. The guy loves Trump. The guy is a big patriot. He hates this woke crap. He hates the woke culture. And he got 10 million viewers, 10 million people to watch him and others on Sunday night, as opposed to Big Bunny. There's actually viral videos going on that during the halftime show where people were literally at the Super Bowl in real time. They were watching the Kid Rock Turning Point USA halftime show while the halftime show Big Bunny was going on, which I thought was hilarious. Now, as you know, Big Bunny is a big rapper. He's a Latino. He only speaks Spanish or sings in Spanish. And I'm okay. And then during the halftime show, because I saw snippets of it afterwards, every single flag was showing. It wasn't just the American flag. It was the Mexican flag, the Puerto Rican flag, the Argentinian flag. He's representing all these countries. specifically Latino countries or Latin countries, Central American countries, and South American countries. But there was some lyrics to his stuff, if you translate it, that was like very sexual, focused on, young people having sex and rape. And it was like very sexually explicit words in a couple of his songs that he sang, if you fully translate it. And actually one of the congressmen is calling for an investigation into the song, into the halftime show. He said it was very distasteful. President Trump, of course, commented too and said, why does the guy got to grab his crotch? All these stupid rappers, they grab their crotch. And the fact that Roger Goodell, who's the commissioner, the NFL commissioner, why he would push this Big Bunny guy, who's very anti-ICE, who supports illegal, criminals, obviously, pedophiles, drug dealers, drug traffickers, sex traffickers. Why is he allowed to be a part of a halftime show? The NFL is about all American. Why is he having this guy who only speaks Spanish and sings in Spanish be a part of the halftime show? Now, Lady Gaga came in, to kind of, quote, save the evening. Ricky Martin came in, who we find out is gay, comes in, quote, to save the evening, but not really. I mean, if you watched the Turning Point USA tribute to Charlie Kirk, which Kid Rock actually did a huge tribute at the very end. It was beautiful what he did. And he showed a picture of Charlie Kirk with Erica and the two children. It was just, there was a lot of love. There was a lot of love on that stage. There was a lot of love for the people that were watching it. And they actually said they're going to do one again next year because the viewership was awesome. Now, there was, of course, a lot of people trying to stall it, trying to mess with it. There was a lot of bands that pulled out because they thought it was a publicity stunt, which it wasn't. Or people didn't want to be associated with Kid Rock, or people didn't want to be associated with Donald Trump. Then people said that Kid Rock lip sung the beginning of when he came on with Ba with Da Ba. He said didn't lip sing. He said there was just, there was some synchronization issues a little bit. He said we didn't even have time to rehearse. It was just like on the fly type of stuff. But I know Kid Rock, he doesn't lip sing. Not at all. And he sounds just the same now as he did 20, 30 years ago. I mean, the guy is just a monster musician, great musician, like total talent, loves Jesus. I mean, he's all American. And I agree with you, Don Willinger. I can't believe the FCC allowed NBC to broadcast a halftime show too. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But this is really important to note the difference between the Big Bunny halftime show and the Kid Rock show. And I questioned this to my viewers. Who watched the Big Bunny halftime show? Who watched the Kid Rock halftime show? Who watched both? Maybe you guys watched them in tandem. I can tell you my parents watched the Kid Rock show. They were not watching Big Bunny at all. Or Bad Bunny, whatever the hell his name is. I think it's Bad Bunny. But whatever. I mean, the guy's a moron. The guy's ignorant. The guy just really doesn't do it for me. And I'll be honest with you, the last NFL halftime shows have been duds. Awful. Roger Goodell has gotten like the worst singers, the worst performers. And the NFL just keeps going down. A lot of people don't watch the NFL anymore because of these, the Super Bowl, because of these ridiculous halftime shows. So let's put up the first slide with Eric Dougherty. So he wrote, this is actually Stephen A. Smith, who's a political commentator and also sports commentator. He agrees with Trump here. And this guy's like Democrat. Like he sometimes agrees with Trump. He goes back and forth. He says, quote, there's millions upon millions of Americans that would have wanted to hear something in English other than Lady Gaga. That is true. The president is speaking on behalf of tens of millions of Americans who are like, quote, I didn't understand a word he was saying because I don't know Spanish. That is the valid point. And remember, President Trump signed into executive order that English should be the primary language in the United States. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But you go to places like Miami, Florida, they all speak Spanish and they expect you to speak Spanish. And they look at you like a foreigner if you don't speak Spanish. Well, you're in America. Why don't you try to learn some damn some damn English, excuse me. You come to this country, assimilate to our lifestyle, learn some damn English. And English is a hard language. I agree. It's hard for a lot of foreigners that come here. But you should not look at us like we're the foreigners. I understand if you live in Spain or if you go to Argentina, you go to Budapest, and if you live there for a significant period of time, you should try to learn their language. You may not be fluent, but you should try to learn something. But the problem is that it's acceptable to go to a foreign country and live there for 20 to 25 years and not learn the language and expect that other person who's born and raised there to know your language. Well, that's crazy. Majority of people don't know Spanish. I mean, I only know Spanish because I took it in school, but a lot of people, they don't take Spanish. They offer German in class. They offer French in school, Yiddish now. They don't really offer Spanish, and a lot of people don't want Spanish. So my producer said viewership from 2025 was down 39% for the Super Bowl halftime. That's terrible. That's not good. They were down 39%. That sucks. That really sucks. And that's because they have people like Bad Bunny and stupid idiots that don't love our country, that actually hate our country, and they sing songs in Spanish when the majority of the country knows English. Let's go to the next slide with Eric Dougherty, text with Laura Ingraham. So Laura Ingraham says it perfectly. Bad Bunny is an anti-American radical who canceled his U.S. shows because he is supposedly afraid of ICE. What a phony. Unless he's worried that his concerts attract illegal gang members or rapists. Read that again. This guy Bad Bunny canceled his U.S. shows because he's supposedly afraid of ICE. Then get the hell out of our country. Why are you here? Why are you reaping in the benefits of America if you hate being an American or if you hate being here? Get the hell out. Go back to Mexico, go back to Argentina, wherever you're from. I don't even know where this guy's from. I don't care. If you hate America so much, stop performing here. Stop making money off of us. Americans are paying for you to live in your damn mansion or wherever you live. Americans are paying for you to sing. Americans are paying for your damn albums. You know, a lot of people, or I would say the people that sing at the halftime shows, they do not get paid, but their numbers go up, their albums go up, their songs go up, and people go out the next day and they buy their albums and they buy all their stuff, and then you have royalties, of course. President Trump's the reason why you have royalties. He signed into law that musicians get to keep their royalties 100%. Thank President Trump for that one. But again, who is this Bad Bunny guy? And are we going to remember him 20 years from now? I won't. I can't even say his name now. I call him Big Bunny, Big Business, Big Moron, Bad Moron. I don't know what his name is. I don't give a damn. But if you're anti-American and you hate being here, and American people have been paying to go to your concerts, you're a POS and a hypocrite. Get the hell out. We don't want you here. Remove yourself and get the hell out. It's disgusting. It's totally disgusting. And let's put up the final slide. Another one by Eric Dougherty. So, wow, Kid Rock and Turning Point USA have a super majority of respondents saying the All-American Halftime Show was better than Bad Bunny. Hollywood elites are shocked. And it's true. As I said, Kid Rock and Turning Point USA had 10 million people nationwide and worldwide watching the halftime show. I saw it in real time. I was looking at the numbers. And that's based on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, wherever it was shown. 10 million people. 10 million people watched the Kid Rock and Turning Point USA halftime show. That's why they're having another one next year. And Erica Kirk should be happy and proud. It was a beautiful tribute to her husband. He would have been proud if he was alive today. Yeah, if you don't like America, Russia needs millions, Ukraine needs millions, and Iran is desperate for people. I agree with Donald Willinger on that too. It's true. 100% true. 100% correct. It's disgusting. It's really, really, really disgusting. But again, my question to my viewers, did you watch the halftime show? Did you watch Kid Rock and Turning Point? What do you think of the halftime show? What do you think of NFL? Because me as a musician, I'm all about country. I'm all about supporting my country. That's why I'm so proud to sing the national anthem, to sing God Bless America, and I never took a knee for it, and I never, ever will. When those idiots started taking a knee for the national anthem, then they introduced a black anthem, I was like, I'm done. I'm done watching NFL. I'm done watching a lot of sports. Baseball started to do that crap. Basketball was doing that crap. Hockey was the only sport that didn't do that because they're all American. It's disgusting to me that these people, they reap in the benefits of Americans. They steal our money, and then they say, I hate doing shows in America because I'm afraid of ICE. You're afraid of ICE if you're an illegal criminal. You're afraid of ICE if you're fostering illegal criminals. You're afraid of ICE if you are part of the problem. Why would anybody be afraid of ICE? Why would this robber be afraid of ICE? He must have committed a crime. He must be an illegal, and maybe ICE needs to look into him and his family. Maybe his citizenship isn't real. I don't know if he was born in this country or not, but if he was, maybe his family isn't. Maybe he's fostering and hoarding illegals. That's something to explore, ICE, DHS. Because anybody that supports ICE, like I said, is part of the problem. Anybody that doesn't support ICE, hello. Anybody that does not support ICE is part of the problem. Because ICE is there to save you. ICE is not modern day Gestapo. They're not Nazis. They're not there to hurt you. They're there to help you. And comparing ICE agents to the Holocaust, even more gross. And there's a lot of Jewish Democrats that do that. And it's disgusting. Well, don't forget, coming up after the break, we do have before the break, we have our affiliate sponsor, our second one, Richardson Nutritional Center, rncstore.com/ALL. Type in ALL, you get that 10% off discount code. Use that QR code right there on the front. You will get such great stuff. I love Richardson Nutritional Center. I love what he has to offer. It's all natural. Again, if you're pregnant and expecting, if you have autoimmune disease, if you have cancer, if you have allergens, if you want something natural, rncstore.com/ALL, that's where you got to go. If you don't type in ALL, you don't get the discount code. Again, the more you spend, the more you get off. Use that QR code right there in front of your screen. It will help improve your wellness. It will help improve your immunity. A lot of people are getting the flu. A lot of people are really sick. I advise you to get this nutritional supplement today. Again, go to rncstore.com/ALL, and we will be right back, guys, after the break.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Hello, guys. Hello. Welcome back. Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. We're all in tonight with me, Alexandra Levine. I did want to say that this show is dedicated to Brad Arnold. I can't even say his name. Arnold. There we go. So Brad Arnold is the lead singer of Three Doors Down. Three Doors Down was a band that I listened to half my life, and I love their songs. And it's just very sad that he died of cancer at such a young age, at the age of 47. He did have an alcoholic problem. He had an alcoholic addiction problem that he didn't really talk about, and that might have contributed to the cancer. But he died of renal cancer. I mean, it's just really sad how he died. And it kind of hit him hard in December of 2025. That's when people started to see the decline. And his wife did a beautiful tribute to him, showed a picture of him in front of the Christmas tree with their dog. And he died in his sleep with family. So at least we know that was going on, that he didn't die alone. But he was such a great man, and he was a devout Christian. So after he recovered from his addiction, his alcoholic addiction, he found Jesus. And he became a religious guy, non-controversial, worked with a lot of Christian artists, and he was very conservative. He was a conservative guy. He supported President Trump. He supported a lot of conservative elected officials. He wasn't political. He didn't really talk politics on any social media outlets, but he was one of the first people and the first bands to come out and support President Trump, and actually sang and performed at President Trump's first inauguration when no other group would. So let's put up the first image of Brad Arnold. I got his name right. So that was him last year. Three Doors Down founder and voice Brad Arnold dies at 47. He died peacefully after a private battle with cancer. He was the founder, lead singer, and songwriter of Three Doors Down, and he passed away. And his famous song was Kryptonite. Kryptonite, he wrote at the age of 15. He wrote it in high school. And then he got involved with his band at the age of 25 years later, and it became a big success. I mean, writing a song at 15, and then 5 years later, it becomes a #1 success. It's just amazing. Let's put up the second image of Brad Arnold. So he was born again 1976 to 2026. Brad Arnold, the lead singer and founder of the popular rock band Three Doors Down. He was actually Grammy nominated. He died after a battle of cancer. And see, his shirt says Jesus on it. I mean, this guy, like I said, he devoted himself to Jesus. He was a Trump supporter. He was conservative. He was one of the only people that said, I will sing for President Trump's inauguration, be an honor. And he took a lot of crap for it, but he didn't care because he did it because he loves our country. And let's, was there another? I can't remember if there was another image. Yep, there it is. That's the latest image. Three Doors Down frontman and Kryptonite songwriter. Again, he wrote Kryptonite at the age of 15, and he produced it with his band at the age of 20, and it became a success. So we're going to put up a little bit. This is just a very short clip video of Three Doors Down singing for President Trump at the Capitol, or in front of, or actually near, I think this was the Lincoln Memorial in 2016. I was there live. Let's watch it. This is Kryptonite. My superhuman eyes, Kryptonite. So that song, we're going to play it later. That'll be our final song. Here Without You was a very popular song. Here Without You was actually a song about his ex-wife and how she didn't die, but he wrote, even though I'm not, you're not with me now, we're not married, I'll never stop loving you. I'll never stop remembering you. It also focuses on another interpretation of someone who died in his life, someone important to him, like maybe a relative. Because it goes, I'm here without you, baby, and I'm still on my lonely nights. I'm here without you, baby, and I think about you all the time. And actually, after he died, has become a top Billboard song. It's number one on the Billboard charts again. It's number one nationwide, worldwide, because it talks about him. Even though we're here without him, he's still in our dreams. He's still in our prayers. He's still in our hearts and souls. And as I said, this show is dedicated to him. And I'll be honest with you, this hit me real hard. This hit me real hard because I loved this band. I loved watching him sing for President Trump. President Trump actually cried, or not cried, got a little teary-eyed with that song, Here Without You, because it's such a beautiful song. And he has other great songs that are huge. And if you get a chance, go on YouTube and you can actually watch the full 15.5-minute video of him singing at the inauguration. It wasn't the inauguration. It was the pre-inaugural evening. It was the night before the inauguration that Brad Arnold and his band sang for President Trump. And it was awesome to hear them. I mean, they were great. It was just a great moment. If any of my viewers were there live, let me know. Let me know if you were there, because I was there. And it was very, very important. It was very important time. It was an important moment. We had such a turnover in our country with a guy who was an entrepreneur, businessman who became our president. It was very, very special. A lot of people came from all over the country and even the world for that evening and for Trump's first inauguration. So speaking of people in office, speaking of politics, don't forget we have my good friend Tim Fazenbaker, who is running for Baltimore County Council District 9, the brand new district. Mr. Fazenbaker is kicking butt on the campaign trail. People are donating to him. He's going to be doing debates soon. He's got a debate coming up February 24th in Dundalk. He's got another debate coming up in Dundalk March 14th. We're finalizing that. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have massive media people there and some big names that are coming to that debate March 14th. But please, guys, don't forget to go to timfazenbaker.com. He is the America First MAGA candidate. He is running in an America First MAGA district. Even if you don't live in his district state, donate to him. I'm from Florida. Like I said, I donate to candidates outside of my state. Please, guys, go to timfazenbaker.com and donate. And if you live in the Dundalk, Sparrows Point, Edgemere area, you can vote for him, donate to him, support him. He's also running for re-election to the Central Committee. But this is his to win, guys, and he is going to win this. Of course, our next candidate that we endorse is Kimberly Stansberry. She's running for Baltimore County Executive. So if she wins, she'll be working with Tim Fazenbaker If elected, she will be the first woman duly elected Baltimore County executive. People want a woman in there, but she is a woman that will take charge. She knows legislation like no other. She knows the role like no other. So please, guys, go to electkimstansberry.org. That's electkimstansberry.org. She'll be doing a couple fundraisers coming up, but I mean, she's going to win the primary, hands down. We just got to get her to win the general. We got to get her over the hump. She's running against two people that do not support ICE. She's running against anti-American people, and we got to get her in there. We got to get her to win. And of course, we have our friend Damon Galdo of the Jersey Shore. He's running for Congress in the 1st District of New Jersey. He will win the primary. We got to get him to win the general. Again, he's got a crazy governor now that wants to ensure that redistricting happens so that a bunch of Democrats take hold in federal offices. So we don't want that. We want his district to stay Republican. We want it to be Republican, I should say. We want to make sure that he gets in there. So please, guys, go to votedamongaldo.com, make a donation, votedamongaldo.com. Also in New Jersey, we have our friend Justin Murphy, who's running for U.S. Senate. Don't forget about him. He's running for U.S. Senate. Justin Murphy, vote for Senate 2026. And then, of course, we have our good friend Julie Spivey Perry, who's running for the United States Congress of Virginia, District 10. Her stupid governor just voted or signed a bill redistricting also to make it even more difficult for Republicans to win congressional seats. But we're not going to have that. We are going to have Julie win this seat. This is a seat for her to win. This is a seat that wants to go Republican. So please, guys, go to secure.anadot.com/Julie for Virginia/donate. There's the QR code right there. Julie Spivey Perry, candidate for U.S. Congress, Virginia District 10. And of course, we have our good friend Seth Eisenberg of the Conservative Corner. We are always advertising and promoting him. We want to help him with his financial crisis. He's lost his foot almost twice. He's been in and out of the hospital. We pray for him. We pray for his family. We've already raised $6,400 for him. The goal is $10,000. The final goal is $100K. We need to help him. We need to put money to him and give back to our veterans. He served our Navy. He's an awesome guy. He's an awesome son, awesome family, and we need to get back to him. So go to GoFundMe and hit help Jonah Eisenberg /help/crisis and donate to him today. And again, guys, don't forget, we have a bunch of shows coming up. Tomorrow night is The Pulse from 8 to 9 p.m. I will be hosting. So if you want to see what my hair is going to look like, what I'm going to wear, if I'm going to wear a high cut shirt, low cut shirt, you gotta come and watch. And we also have some really great guests. We always have Damon Galdo of the Jersey Shore. He'll be on there. Seth Eisenberg will be on there. Elena Barber's always there. We have 2 special guests that are coming on. So please, guys, don't forget to watch The Pulse tomorrow night from 8 to 9 p.m. Sometimes we go to 9:30. It's a great show. It's a 5-people panel. We talk about different topics. You never know what we're going to talk about. And again, you never know what I'm going to wear. So you better come on and see what's going on with The Pulse tomorrow night. And, of course, my show will be live Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m., of course, right here on this network. We also have the Jersey Shore from Monday from 8 to 9 p.m., Friday night 8 to 9 p.m., and we love the Jersey Shore. We call him Damon Galdo the Hammer. We're also coming up in March. We're going to have 2 new shows coming up. We'll tell you more about those as we get closer to March. But that's going to be nice. They're going to be expanding our network, and our network just keeps expanding. I got a call today, a fellow podcaster. He wants to be on our show. So every month we are expanding. Every week people want to come on our show. We are working on getting more sponsors, more podcasters. Please, guys, go to americaspulsenetwork.com if you're interested in being a podcaster on our show or if you're interested in sponsoring. And again, don't forget, you can follow us at America's Pulse Network on Rumble, on True Social, on TikTok, on YouTube, now on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Parler. We're on like all the major media networks. And of course, guys, don't forget to follow me, Alexandra Levine, on Facebook, on YouTube, X, at Alexandra Levine 20, A.R. Levine 85 on Instagram, Rumble, YouTube, True Social, Parler, Spotify. I'm everywhere. I'm very accessible. And again, guys, I want to leave you with the end of our show. The song Here Without You will be playing by Brad Arnold in memorial of him. We will continue to memorialize him from 3 Doors Down. Please stay with us. It's a 4.5-minute song. Again, guys, thank you for watching. The reason you listen and the reason you watch is you are no idiot.
100 days have made me older since the last time that I saw your pretty face. 1,000 lies have made me colder, and I don't think I can look at this the same. All these miles that separate disappear now when I'm dreaming of your face. I'm here without you, baby. You're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby. You're still with me in my dreams. And tonight there's only you and me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The miles just keep rolling as the people leave their way to say hello. And I've heard this life is overrated, but I know that it gets better as we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm here without you, baby. You're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby. You're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, girl, it's only you and me. Everything I know, anywhere I go, it gets hard, but it won't take away my love. And when the last one falls, when it's all said and done, it gets hard, but it won't take away my love. Oh, I'm here without you, baby. You're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. Here without you, baby. You're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, girl, it's only you and me. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution, because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Alexandra, thanks you for watching tonight's Alexandra Levine live podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to informative topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified for upcoming episodes. If you like what the Alexandra talks about, then share the Alexandra Levine live podcast with others. Alexandra also looks